Hello, my friends. Today I just want to share something that helps with all of our vision at the times of the end right now. And by vision, I mean things that the world looks at, doesn't think anything about, or has an opinion of it one way or another, or anything like that that is hidden between the lines, so to speak. God has removed this veil from our eyes. It's one veil that God has removed to those who are following Him. And as we see the world and as we see how it speaks, we realize it's not our Father. And we realize that everything He has taught us is different than this other Father. And I just scroll through some headlines today. I'm just on Breitbart, and like I do every morning, and I read the headlines. You don't even need to read what it's about. You can just read the headlines, and whenever the veil is removed from your eyes, you will see what it actually is saying. And just to share some of that with you, I will just share a couple of different headlines that shows what the image of the beast actually looks like. And we know the beast is America. We know that Israel is connected to it because Israel is the dragon. And we know the prostitute harlot that rides on top of the beast is this false version of Christianity that America is consumed by. And not just America, but all of the Western nations. None of these versions of Christianity are Christians. They do not know God. They worship the beast and they follow the beast because they speak like the dragon, exactly like the beast. So we look at some headlines. Mo Brooks warns of a mentally erratic Chief Justice presiding over impeachment. I don't trust John Roberts' judgment. He's speaking about a Supreme Court justice. Whenever we understand who the beast is and how it speaks, we know that everything that the beast says is a lie because their father is a liar and everything he says is a lie. We're speaking of Satan and how he has given his image to everyone who believes themselves to be superior. Anyone who sits on a panel is a so-called expert and discusses anything, putting down some, elevating others. They are of the world, and they are this image of the beast meant to deceive all of the inhabitants of the world. So this is something the children of God can easily see and recognize. Whenever somebody speaks unrighteously against another, no matter what person it's against, no matter what organization it's against, when somebody out of darkness in their heart speaks of another individual, they have only spoken against themselves. They have not known anything but the lie. And when they lie against somebody else, it is a testimony only against themselves. This is how the image of the beast works. For this person, I don't even know who it is, but he says, I don't trust John Roberts' judgment. What he is actually doing is testifying against himself. His own lie is saying to all of the children of God in the world, do not trust me because I am a liar. I am mentally erratic. And my expert opinion shows my superiority and authority over anybody else, even though he doesn't have this authority, but he tries to steal the authority by deception. This is what the whole world is doing. Everything that they are saying against somebody else out of the darkness of their heart, it is coming on their own heads when the Son of Man returns. And this is all a testimony. So anyone that speaks against another, that is judging another, and you know by their words they are speaking falsely, you know that the only thing they are doing is testifying against themselves. Now, a child of God judges and does judge all things in the world. We have the authority to judge everything in the world. By our words are we condemned, or by our words are we lifted up? And if you have the truth, if you know the truth, if you know the Lord and walk with Him, He tells you what people are saying. Thus, whenever you judge something, you're not judging the person out of ignorance or out of the darkness of your own heart. You are righteously judging somebody. But somebody who speaks like this, you absolutely can tell immediately that they're only judging themselves. We go to another headline. ICC decision to probe Israel for war crimes is pure anti-Semitism. We hear the word anti-Semitism everywhere. And this is because the dragon is threatened. The dragon gets the beast to spread its image, which is why we see all of these Western civilizations standing up for Israel with their words. They're going to bat for Israel. They are saying, you cannot talk against Israel because anything you say against Israel is anti-Semitism. In other words, it doesn't want you to see the truth of what Israel is. So it defends it. It stands up for it. Who defended Jesus Christ? Nobody. He had no place to lay his head. But whenever we're talking about the Jews and we're talking about Israel, the beast will go to bat for it and protect it with its own life because it come from that dragon. So you can't criticize Israel for anything that's happening in the world. You can't criticize them at all, or automatically you are labeled an anti-Semitist. This is to protect the dragon, and the beast is the one who protects it. The world will defend its own. It will not defend Jesus Christ because he is not of the world. But it will defend Israel because Israel is of the world. And everything that is happening in Israel, everything that happens to the Jews, they will be defended until it is time that they are turned over. And they will be turned over in the Great Tribulations after the third temple is built. It's all working exactly as the scriptures say. But until then, the world will defend the dragon. The world will defend the beast. We go on. Christianity Today backed amnesty for illegal aliens in 2015. Christianity Today was the magazine outlet that said that Donald Trump should be impeached, that he is evil and unrighteous. And they're saying all of this out of the wickedness of their own hearts because they are not Christians and they do not know what is going on with Donald Trump. They cannot see the truth, so all they can do is continue to lie. And whenever they lie, they're again testifying against themselves. All of these Christianity divides that we see now, especially over this Donald Trump impeachment and all of these things, they're all divided just like I told you it would divide 4 or 5 months ago, how those online churches are dividing, and one of them's going this way, one of them's going that way, and they're rejecting the other. Christianity is devouring itself because they have already been devoured by the beast, and the beast hates Christ. So he will continue to divide them until they have absolutely no power left, and then they're all handed over to it, the same as the Jews. This has been happening for several months, and now it's becoming prominent. This is what we're seeing in the world, the divide of Christianity, because it's not truly Christianity. It's the whore that rides on top of the beast. We see Washington Post gives Nancy Pelosi 4 Pinocchios for false gun stats. This is what the beast does. It lies about everything. It does not take actual statistics, as we don't even know what the actual statistics are in this world. Only by the Spirit do you know the truth. And since they have no Spirit, there really is no truth for them. They can get one person, one expert to say, well, this is a fact. Another expert will give them an entirely opposite fact. God has taken the truth away from the world so that you can't even see truth. But we know that everybody that stands up and lies, intentionally lying, they do it because that's what they know from their father. All they know how to do is lie. Nancy Pelosi is a liar because she knows not the truth. So everything she speaks is a lie. This is the image of the beast. Some Democrat representative Taurus, I am afraid that Vladimir Putin may have something on the president. She's saying that Vladimir Putin has something on her, something on the Democrats, which I'm quite certain Russia does. You can just look at the world and how it's playing out and how the beast attacks anybody that threatens it. And it only attacks those who threaten the beast out of not taking responsibility for their own actions. So somebody that does not hold firm themselves and somebody that does have guilt will project that guilt onto everybody else who does not have the guilt, so that people will look at them and think that, wow, there is something that the president and Russia are doing. And they're going to look into the deception. They're going to look at their left hand while the right hand steals from them everything, because they love not the truth either. but to a panel of liars and so-called experts that have the world deceived. Everybody who loves not the truth will blindly believe whoever they follow. And those who are following her and those who are following the beast will go down with the beast, the same as she has. We see another one. Al Franken compares Mitch McConnell to serial killer and rapist Jeffrey Dahmer. What Al Franken is doing is taking all of the things that he has inside of himself and projecting it upon somebody else. So he, inside of him, has murder because his father was a murderer. He, inside of him, has rape because his father was a rapist. He compares somebody to a serial killer because he himself desires to be a serial killer. This is what the beast does. It projects everything that is within inside of its own heart, unrighteously projects it onto somebody else. And then we see some model celebrates Trump impeachment with naked peach photo. This is just the horror riding on top of the beast. This is what she looks like. She is somebody that will physically do these kind of things too because they love not the truth and they're selling their souls away in order to take everyone down with them. So they will lead the world astray by the lusts of the world. And what is the lust of the world? Nakedness. It loves the female figure. So it will project this so that people follow it. And then they lie down with the beast. It's also very easy to see whenever you have the eyes to see it. Everybody that speaks against somebody else that is not in a position of power, they are trying to take the power by deception, which is exactly what the Antichrist beast does. It takes a power that's not its own, and it leads the whole world astray to follow it until it ascends to the power, but not of righteousness. And we can see Revelation 13:15. The second beast was given power to give breath to the image of the first beast, so that the image could speak and cause all who refuse to worship the image to be killed. This will happen in the great tribulations. Whoever will not bow down to this beast when it assumes his throne inside of the new temple that's going to be built, then it will turn to murdering everybody who will not follow this. Right now is the beginning of everything. You're seeing it start to bear fruits. The world is led astray by the beast, and it will serve the beast. But everything that you see happening now is just moving forward to get to this, to where everybody is going to be killed who will not worship it. Right now, they're getting all of those who love lies on their own side, so that when the time comes to actually act, people are led astray and believe they are doing the right things by killing those who will not follow them. Same as what happened in World War II with Germany. You had a bunch of normal German people. They didn't think nothing of anything. Otherwise normal people who would send Jews into the gas chamber to be executed without thinking anything of it, because they were so much led astray that they truly believed they were doing the right things by doing it. That has to happen beforehand, which is why we saw the persecution of the Jews within Germany before it, exactly like you see the persecution of Christians. Even though they are false Christians, they're still being persecuted because the devil hates anything to do with Christ. You have to have the world hate you before it sends you to death so that it does not think about it. And that is exactly what they are preparing for now. God bless.